Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with today, day 17 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And we are using this awesome 2-page sketch from Shawn Styles Lahr. And there are lots of picture places on here. So if you've got a big event or lots of pictures from something, this is definitely a great layout for you. The Dotty About Flair prompt is Flair, so not a problem. Spoiler alert, the penguins don't make it. So I have pictures from the wedding I scrapbooked on day 11, and so I wanted to try and bring in some more ephemera from the wedding, as well as the same colors. So those top three, that burgundy, the pink, and then that vellum, are all papers that I used for that layout. And that blue is very similar. And I also have a scrap of the blue I did use. And then I brought this floral in because there's flowers in almost every single picture that I've got. And then there are these 3 circle elements, and 2 of them are pictures, but I went ahead and just cut these heart wreaths out on my Cricut. They're the exact same one. I just had them made in 6, 4, and 3 inches. And so these are just the scraps left over from my previous layout, and I wanted to use some of those if need be. That's that pink wood grain that I used on sketch number 11. And these are the extra film strips that I made for that sketch. Since I didn't know how many I would need, and I thought I'd try and bring at least one of these in because that will help tie this they'll be together in the 2020 book. And then I have these Jolie's Garden Wedding and that little Miss Grossman's cups with bubbles, and then these are sticko, and there's just some word phrases. I thought I'd use maybe 1 or 2 of those. And then these right here are my stickers that I used at the last time, and I think they're from Paper Studios, but I'm not positive. They could be Recollections, but I had cut the top part off and there's nothing on the back. So I have my papers, my pictures, some scraps, my Flair, and this awesome double sketch. So let's see how this goes. First, I trimmed down the main picture that's going to be on the left layout, and this is the bride and groom as they're coming down the stairs from where they were just pronounced husband and wife, although they officially were already married. They got this, of course, is in the middle of the pandemic. Their original wedding date was in April, so they went ahead and got married when they were supposed to, but had the ceremony and everything in December. So hoping that we would be out of the pandemic, which of course we weren't, but we made it work. And so I originally thought I was going to have these be my back 2 pages, the maroon and that blue, and then I was going to cover the holes where the blue paper is. But then I decided, after I got everything out, I wanted the back pages to be the same. So I trimmed down the blue to an 11.5 by 11.5 and the burgundy to 11.5 by 11.5. I don't know why I didn't cut this out. Sorry, you all. So those stars that are cut out are from a sketch, maybe day 8, 9. I can't remember for sure, but it is from 30 Days of Sketches. But that blue, shiny blue, is coordination paper, and I use those stars as embellishments on another layout. So I decided, like I said, to use this pink paper as my mat for both. So I just get them lined up and try and figure out where I want them. I think that I was just talking to my son. He just came in and told me he didn't feel good. Bless. So this is where everything is going. I cut that floral American Crafts paper into 6 inches, 12 inches, and then I end up cutting down the to 11.5 in length because I want it to span from the top of the blue to the bottom and not over into the pink. So I've just got it laying down there, and I'm just going to lay everything out so that I can kind of get an idea for where things are going to go and if I like things the way they are. And I definitely want the bride and groom, like I said, to be the main focus on the left layout. And then this picture of me and my daughter, who just is stunning. not me, her, on the right layout. And I know it calls in the sketch for two 6-inch pictures over there on the far right, but I am just going to use this one. And I have plans to add some ephemera there to take that space for where the other one would go. I almost forget it too. I don't. So because I'm working with 11.5 inches in height, I need to trim these pictures down. And because I've cut that floral paper to 6 inches, I want to trim them down on the sides as well, just a little. They're not even 3.5. They're like somewhere between 3.5 and 3 3/4. So just enough to give them some space there on the blue. And I determined where I wanted to lay the paper based on where those stars were, so I would make sure to cover it up. So in the sketch, there are 3 bold lines down, 2 on the 2 on the left layout and 1 on the right. So what I cut off to trim my inside paper down is what I used to put on here. So I use the maroon or burgundy on the blue page, and then when I get to it, I will use the blue that I cut off on the burgundy page. It ties it all together, and I really love how this turned out. So that piece right there of blue paper that's on the roses, that is where I cut the blue hearts out. And since that was not wide, and it was too wide, the hole was too wide for me to just put the picture down on the blue, I matted it in pink first and then put it on the blue. So now you have that blue color and that pink color, and it all ties it in together. I just love when a plan comes together, you all. So then I just put my tape runner down this other piece, and I had to cut that 1/2 inch off because this was the first cut I made on the burgundy paper, so it was a full 12 inches. And then the next one was when I cut the other part, which ended up being 11.5, so it fit perfect, but I had to cut a 1/2 inch off of this one. And this I overlay completely on the roses because I have just enough room on that blue that I want to make sure that I don't cover any more of that up, because I want this blue paper to be the matte for my pictures. I'm not matting any of the 4 pictures that are going in that middle area, because like I said, the focal point for the left layout is this one of the bride and groom. So I get it matted, and I'm trying to decide where I want to put it in the sketch. It's fully in the middle of the circle, but I didn't want to do that. First of all, I didn't make the heart big enough for that, but I also didn't want the heart that big, or that heart circle to be that big. So I just have it, mostly in the middle. So then I decide I'm going to put the pictures on the right layout. I want this vellum because I wanted to bring the vellum into this layout as well, because it is in the original wedding layout I did on the 11th. And it's not bold or in your face. It's very subtle, and it will remain that way on this layout as well. I mean, you can see it, but it's not like, here I am. It's not a focal point. So originally I was going to put this rose paper on the right layout all the way in the corner because that's how it looks in the sketch. But then I decided I was going to mimic where it is on the left layout. So it's about 1 inch and a smidge, you like my measurements, over. And so I measured and put the ruler down, go me, using my ruler, and put it over that way as well. So then I put this double-sided tape runner and some glue down the parts where I know are going to get covered up by the pictures. So, and then I just center that in the middle of that maroon. And that I was trying to decide if I had enough room, if I wanted to put the blue on top of the maroon at all, or just on top of the floral. And again, I had just enough space, so I wanted to go ahead and put it just on the floral. So I get all that tacked down, and I think I've attached the pictures already. So here I bring in one of those film strips that I had on my other layout. And if you did not watch day 11, I would love for you to go and see it. It was probably one of my favorite layouts that I've created. It was a lot of prep work, which I don't normally do because that's why my channel is Scrapping on the Fly. I kind of fly by the seat of my pants, which is actually what I did here. But I just love the way that it turned out. So I'm using this blue scrap, and I am determined to get it to fit and cover what I need it to cover. So I want the whole strip of the blue, or the whole strip of that pink film strip at the top. I want it to show the blue through it. And then it's going to come out on the right side of the picture. So I want that hole there to be covered. And I only have this little L-shaped piece, but it's not big enough. So I had to do a little jerry rigging. And part of that little spot in the bottom isn't covered, but the picture will cover it. So I get that moved up. I put vellum behind my picture of me and my daughter. And see, I'm about to put it down, and then I remember, oh yeah, I want to bring in this, this bag had little goodies in it at the wedding. It says, first comes love, then comes dessert. And I love that. And it's white. It's a white bag, and it's all in shiny silver. And there's already a little thank you on here at the very top of this bag. And so I'm not going to end up bringing in the other ephemera piece that I had. But that's okay. It will make it onto another layout. I have at least one more layout for this wedding. I got it the wedding rehearsal. So I tack that down. I add a little extra glue because that maroon or burgundy paper is kind of textured. Not a ton. It's not as much as the glitter paper, the coordination glitter paper over on the left layout, but it does have some texture. So I add a little extra. And then I put the picture down, and you can see the vellum just a little in the video, but in person you can see it. And all that, the holes and stuff are covered. And I really love the way that that turns out. And then I'm going to get the blue and the pink circle attached. Now in the sketch they are further apart, but I like the way that they were, and I didn't want the blue heart wreath going over on top of the blue circle, because while they're not the exact same paper, they are very similar in color, and it would have just disappeared. So I just overlaid them right there. And then I took a piece of the film strip, and in the sketch there's like a circular bubble at the bottom underneath the picture on the left. And I decided I would go ahead and use this one portion of the film strip. I matted that in that pink wood grain that I used also on the sketch on the 11th. And I'm going to use that to journal. I don't journal on camera, but I'm going to write a little note in there. And I did put a little bit of the vellum in behind there. So I then get out my Flair, and I went ahead and pulled another pinky burgundy colored Flair out, because the penguins are white and black, and I'm using navy blue, and I don't normally blend black and navy blue together. And the title on the sketch is at the top of the picture, but that word family is really big, and I don't want it to cover the hearts completely. So I put it under the bottom. It covers a little bit of the film strip, but I'm okay with that. And then the rest of that sticker says, it says my. And so I put that at the top of the picture, so it all says my family. And it's that shininess is green. I don't know how well you can see that on camera because it kind of looks gold, but it is green. So I get that down. And then I have got the sticker from, this is a Sticko sticker. It just says congratulations, and I put that up the side of the picture of the bride and groom. And the other things on there either have an aqua color that I don't want to use, or gold, and I don't want to use that either. So I pulled that little thank you thing out, and that also came with some goodies from the wedding, but I don't want to use that. It doesn't really go. So then the next thing I did was pulled out this Jolie's Garden wedding. I pulled the little bells because they're white, and I like the look of them, and I add them over here to the blue part of the film strip. And then these two little doves are holding like a little ribbon. And so I put those over by the where it says family. And I like the way that that looks. And I was thinking about pulling some more stuff off of here, but really nothing else is going to work from here. So I pull out my my Paper Studios adhesive gems. And I also use these on my other layout. And I just put a cluster of 3 of them in 3 different places around. And then I get my Dotty About Flair down on the right layout and on the left layout. And I think that I'm going to call it done. I really love this layout, and it was a whole lot more simplistic than the last one. So I hope you all will go below to the description box and follow along with this hop. There are so many amazing people who are hopping along and creating these layouts. I put this on slow-mo, way slow-mo. Sorry about that. So I'm going to show you some close-ups, and I hope y'all love this. So if you're interested, like I said, day 11, I did a pretty much coordinating page that goes with this, and followed that sketch pretty closely as well. So I hope that you all will check that out and go check out all the awesome people below. You can go to Facebook 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life and see all the sketches. There are 30 of them for this month, which is awesome. And Christy has done an amazing job gathering these. A lot of them are created by the awesome scrappers that are on this hop below. So please go check that out. And I'd love to see what you all create. So if you want to comment below, hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have, I really appreciate it. And I thank you all so much for watching this video and watching me and my crazy antics with scrapbooking. This is such a work of art. I just love it. So have a great day, and I hope that today you get a chance to do something you love with someone you love. Happy scrapping.